Are you sure you're up for this?
Of course. That edgy blue copycat barely left a scratch. Maybe a couple of bruises, though. A broken bone or two.
And you don't want to see a doctor?
You're a doctor.
I mean, as much as it pains me to say this, a licensed doctor?
I'm telling you, man, I'm fine. Besides, there's nothing a doctor can do for me that you can't. Case in point. Look, we can't take any more days off. We need that ad revenue. The Tube TV algorithm is a cruel mistress. Also, every time I go more than a week without uploading, Tubi starts to get weird.
Continue to stand as a word.
Wow, terrifying. Wow, terrifying. Wow, terrifying. I can't not say it and not sound excited about it, sorry. I still think you should take it easy. How about a nice?
What was that?
Probably nothing. How about a nice puzzle game in these trying times?
I don't know. Seems a little low stakes.
Says the guy who once reviewed a bowl of cereal.
Fine.
Howdy Internet, this is NeoJock, and welcome back to the Goatface Corner. In today's episode, this game is
Boo.
Boom Patrol was a game created by Disk Operating Softwares and released to home computers in the year 1990, but has origins in other games that can be traced as far back as the 1970s, with its style of gameplay often contributed to the 1975 game Squares. Each and every iteration of the game follows the same basic principle.
The player finds himself amongst a grid of squares, each one potentially covering a landmine that looks suspiciously like a naval mine and not at all like a landmine. The goal of the game is to systematically uncover each and every square that does not contain a land sea mine, while, of course, not blowing yourself up. To begin, the player must simply click on a square. Whether or not the square contains a mine is, unfortunately, up to luck. There is an, albeit small, chance that you lose immediately upon starting the game.
It should be noted that some updated versions of the game prevent this from happening, and ensures that the first square a player clicks is always safe. For example, see? This is apparently not one of those versions. Which I definitely knew.
Once the player has successfully uncovered a square without a mine underneath, the game truly begins. The tile uncovered will, more often than not, feature a number ranging somewhere between 1 and 8. This number represents the amount of mines surrounding the tile itself. Using these numbers as a guide, the player can slowly but surely plot out a map of the board in their head and use the vaunted deductive reasoning to determine which are safe and which are not.
Before the game begins, the player has the option to set the size of their board, as well as how many mines they'd like buried therein.
Ooh, they're in. Nice.
Because of this, it's possible to uncover a tile that has no mines around it at all. When this happens, the tile is blank, and every tile around that first tile is automatically uncovered. And this trend continues until the game reaches a tile with a number. This is the kind of thing you want to aim for when starting the game. Uncovering just a single tile with just a number is almost just as bad as not uncovering one at all, as you still have no idea where any of the mines are, and your next click's just as luck-based as the first.
Once you've found yourself a large selection to work with, my strategy is to make your way into any of these interior corners. The tile on the interior is always a 1, and that means that the only covered tile near it has to be a mine. which gives you the first step you need in figuring out the layout of the mines. Left-clicking on a square uncovers it, and subsequently blows up any mines underneath.
Ooh, subsequently. Nice.
However, right-clicking on a tile plants a flag on it. In-game, this has no real purpose, but to the player, these flags can be used to mark out which tiles have mines under them, so you don't simply have to commit these things to memory. The number of flags you have is limited to the number of mines on the board, which prevents the player from simply spamming them out all over the place, and forces you to be a little more keen in your deductions.
NeoJog fun fact. In some recent versions of the game, the mines in this field are replaced by flowers because I guess the existence of bombs at all was deemed too mature for young audiences.
That's kind of a weird thing, don't you think? I mean, the mines never even looked like proper mines anyway, and they didn't even explode in the original game, but the mere presence of an object that was shaped like something that could potentially cause damage was deemed too mature?
The game has a timer system which counts up, and is used to determine the player's score. Once all the mine-free tiles have been uncovered, you win. And this smiley face up top celebrates with some cool blasts. Your score is then calculated by the time it took you to complete the game, with lower times being better than higher ones. The world record for this is a time of 30 seconds, and necessitates an uncomfortable amount of luck. If you want to complete this game fast, or occasionally at all, sometimes you just have to guess. That's the nature of this game. Sometimes you don't uncover tiles that tell you where to go next, and you just gotta live with that. And sometimes you just can't live with that. See, that wasn't so bad, right?
Aside from being blown up half a dozen times, I guess so. It was nice to take things easy for a change. Maybe I'll do another puzzle game next week.
Yeah, okay, sure, you better get started on that. Anyway, I'm gonna go up. Something.